Good morning, everybody. This is DearMamaSal, and this is Tuesday morning. Yesterday I ended up not going to work because Bina was having some major problems and I had to get him to the vet. Just to let you know that he's just losing strength in this one leg, and it's causing him to not be able to carry his weight at some times. I had a very serious discussion with the vet, and she assured me that this was not the time to put him down yet, because you know I would if I thought he was in serious pain. So I think the way that I have to look at it is, if I had an owie on my leg and was limping, would I want to be put down? Or would I want to have it made easier for me to do the things I want to do, i.e. crutches, in my case? So that's the way that I'm looking at it at the moment, unless it deteriorates significantly. It is difficult because I actually live on the first floor of my house, not the ground floor. And so for him to be able to go out into the garden requires that he goes down at least one flight of stairs. But he does have a back deck which is available to him. And I think what I'm going to do is actually close the gate on the back deck so he doesn't even try and get down the stairs when I'm not there. Rather that he pees and poops on the back deck than he tries that when I'm not there. He struggled this morning, for example. So, excuse me. So that's why you didn't get a drive to work video yesterday. And by the time I got back from the vet, there was a bigger problem because I had borrowed Yvonne's car, because as you know, he cannot get into the Jeep anymore. And he even struggled to get into Yvonne's car, to be honest. And so we had a sheet on the back seat for him. And then, unfortunately, he pooped on the way to the vet, which did not surprise me, quite honestly. But then, of course, I ended up with poop all over the sheet, and some of it bled through onto the back seat because, you know, he stood on it. So, I had quite a job of cleaning up her car. And luckily, Yvonne, however OCD she may be, she has great compassion for Bina. So she assured me that Bina can do whatever he needs to do in the car and she'll be okay. And if he needs to throw up, that's okay. You know, which is really very, very kind and very considerate of her and typical of her, to be honest. So, oh, and then I got all the way back from the vet to find out that I'd forgotten his medication. So I drove back to the vet, got the medication, and also returned the towel that they lent me for him to stand on the way home. So now it's a case of let's just monitor him and see how he goes. I really didn't like what I saw this morning. And of course I came screaming out of the house because I was running late without my coffee, so I'm not human yet. Luckily they do have coffee at the office. Doesn't taste the same though. Because it isn't the same. So I found myself very emotionally drained by lunchtime yesterday, so I ended up not going back to work. And I slept most of yesterday afternoon and evening, interspersed with watching lots of Caesar Milan. I don't know, I think that must be going back to when I first had Bina, because when I first had him, he was such a orangutan that I spent a lot of time watching Caesar Milan, trying to get a handle on what was possible to do with him. Because he was just all over the place. He really didn't understand boundaries, he didn't understand manners, he didn't understand trust. But I must admit, he picked it up very quickly. Once he understood that I was serious about his rehabilitation, as Caesar Milan calls it. Once he understood that you want to get fed, then you need to sit pretty right there. And again, it was funny because when I rewatched all those videos, or a lot of them, one of the things that made me smile was how patient one has to be. Because dogs are very smart. They know that you're going to go, it's a bit like children, right? They know you're going to give up and just let them get their way. And funny enough, I have a lot of patience with dogs when I'm training them. A lot of patience and very strong boundaries. And which is the reason why I could leave food on the table or anywhere else and not worry about him taking it. He understood that was my food, not his. So it was an emotional day yesterday, and it hurt a lot. Basically because I know this day is coming very soon, and the vet made quite a point of saying that she didn't think he was going to do well come the fall and winter, and I said, no, I already know that. So I guess it's a case of doing it on our terms rather than his. But if he continues to have the problem that I saw this morning, I'm not quite sure. You know, I've got wooden floors, and that's not easy for a dog trying to walk on a few legs to walk on. You know, it's slippery and twists, and it just isn't good. So I've got to think about maybe during the day I've got to corral him in my kitchen with somewhere nice and comfortable for him to sit and lie down, so that he doesn't have far to walk across the flooring, and that may be what I have to do next. The other thing I noticed at the weekend was that he did go downstairs where it's cooler in the lobby, because that's tile down there. He went down into the lobby and stayed there, or stayed at that, basically at that level. They're 2 steps up, and then there's a